Hey friends, welcome to the channel. If you want to know how to use coffee to your advantage in language learning and also for a more productive life in general, you found the right video. Los geht's! My name is Dustin and I'm an IT project manager from Germany. On this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today we will talk about coffee. And I haven't been a fan for it a long time, but recently I've discovered it for me and I found it pretty tasty and useful actually. So let's have a nice sip of coffee first. Therefore, we will first have a look at the history of coffee and where it actually comes from. Then we will see what relevant substances coffee is made of and how it actually affects us and how it works in our body. Last but not least, we will see how to use the effects of coffee to our advantage in the best way, based on current scientific research. Los geht's! First of all, what is coffee actually? And let me quote Wikipedia here, because they have a really good definition. So coffee is a drink prepared from roasted coffee beans, darkly colored, bitter and slightly acidic. Coffee has a stimulating effect on humans, primarily due to its caffeine content. It is the most popular hot drink in the world. Okay, now that is out of our way, we can talk about the history of coffee. Since one of the main topics of this channel are languages and language learning, we will first talk about the etymology of the word coffee. So the history of the word, or where the word actually comes from. The word coffee entered the English language in 1582 via the Dutch word koffie, borrowed from the Ottoman Turkish kahve, borrowed in turn from the Arabic word kawa, was traditionally held to refer to a type of wine whose etymology is given by Arab lexicographers as deriving from the verb kaya, and that means to lack hunger, in reference to the drink's reputation as an appetite suppressant. Now let's have a look where coffee beans originate from. So Koffein is the name of the plant that grows those beans. Those are shrubs or small trees and are native to the ancient coffee forests on the Ethiopian plateau. According to a legend, a goat herder named Kaldi discovered first the potential of coffee beans. His goats would roam around, eat the coffee beans, and then they just couldn't sleep at night. But there's actually no evidence for this story. Historically proven is that the knowledge of the coffee tree and coffee drinking first appeared in the late 15th century. Coffee was first exported out of Ethiopia to Yemen, then Egypt and North Africa, Syria and Turkey. Coffee houses were born and became quickly a place for social interaction and the exchange of information. Since many pilgrims from all over the world went to the holy city of Mecca each year, the knowledge about coffee got spread across Europe quickly. In the 17th century, coffee houses have been also established all over Europe, like in England, in the Netherlands, in France, in Germany or in Austria. Fun fact, in England they were called penny universities, because for the price of a penny you could get a cup of coffee and engaging conversations. Interesting to know is also that coffee replaced the common beverages at the time, which were wine and beer. Crazy, right? So people would become more alert and could perform better at work. Yeah, who wondered? Alcohol for breakfast? Nah, probably not the best idea. Due to the rising demand of coffee worldwide, it got also planted in other places than in Africa, like for example Asia and Central and South America, with a really big success. By the end of the 18th century, coffee had become one of the most profitable export crops. Now, science of coffee. What does coffee actually consist of? So for us, most important are first caffeine, then secondary plant substances like antioxidants. Third, that it doesn't have any calories. So if you just drink a black coffee, you won't consume any calories. Of course, if you go to Starbucks and get a frappuccino, grande latte, something, then yeah, probably you have lots of calories. But black coffee, yeah, you're fine. So first of all, how does caffeine work in the body? Throughout the day we produce adenosine when we move or when we do mental efforts. This adenosine then docks in our brain at a receptor which makes us tired and relaxed. Caffeine has very similar structure as adenosine and is connecting to the same receptors in our brain, which means that adenosine can't connect and can't make us relaxed or tired. This way we get energized instead. Unfortunately, the adenosine, which is in our brain, doesn't go away. It's still there, but it just can't connect, but it accumulates over time. Once the caffeine is gone, adenosine will connect anyway to those receptors and will make us even more tired. So then the question is, how long does it make us awake? And how long does it take to be fully out of our system? So the effects of caffeine can be felt as soon as 15 minutes after it has been consumed. The level of caffeine in our blood peaks about 1 hour later and then stays there for several hours for most people. After 6 hours of consumption, about half of it is gone. For the rest, it can take about 10 hours or even a bit more to be completely cleared out of our bloodstream. Then there are also those secondary plant substances. What are they doing actually in our body? Studies have found that coffee polyphenols such as chlorogenic acids have many health promoting properties such as antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-diabetes and anti-hypertensive properties. Also inhibit the absorption of some minerals. This applies for example to minerals like iron or zinc. This can be mitigated by drinking coffee 1 hour apart from your next meal and then after the meal also to wait for 2 hours before drinking coffee again. But the negative effects were probably overestimated in the past and the antioxidants are quite useful anyway. So it should be fine. You just shouldn't drink coffee and swallow at the same time your multivitamin. Then the question is, how much coffee can we drink each day? So we shouldn't drink more than 400 milligrams, which is about 4 cups per day, 4 regular cups. Of course it depends on what you are drinking. Espresso is different or cold brew can also be different. And if you have never tried coffee before, probably you shouldn't start with 400 milligrams, but probably just with 1 cup and to see, how it actually, or how your body is actually responding to that. Because if you're starting, you can feel quite shaky and your heart can beat faster and it can be a weird sensation. So I can't really recommend that. Even for me nowadays, if I would drink like 4 cups, I would really get the shiver. So be aware of that. On the other hand, if caffeine is consumed in excessive quantities, it can have negative health consequences. These range from increased nervousness, excitability to insomnia, sweating and palpitations. If too much caffeine is consumed on a permanent basis, this can even lead to cardiovascular problems. And now we come to the most important point, energy level management for more productivity and better learning. So now that we have learned about coffee and its positive effects, how can we utilize that to live a more productive life and to improve our learning? You shouldn't drink coffee just after you have woken up, because in theory, when you wake up in the morning, you should be rested after 10 minutes maybe. So you need to get awake first, of course, but then you should be rested and not tired. If you are tired, then that means usually that you either don't sleep enough or that your sleep quality is bad, because it can mean that you have still adenosine in your brain in the morning, which is talking to those receptors and making you relaxed and tired. But that shouldn't be the case. So if you need coffee immediately in the morning to block those receptors, it's not good. You should start in the morning fresh. If I should make a video about sleep, how important it is, how you can increase your sleep quality, just let me know in the comments, because sleep is fundamental in our life and also for learning. Ideally, you shouldn't drink coffee for the last 10 hours before you go to sleep, but at least for the last 5 to 6 hours, in order to not ruin or to decrease your sleep quality. So I, for example, don't drink coffee after 1 p.m, ideally not after 12 p.m. Of course, there are also exceptions, and some people are not that affected by caffeine anymore, so probably it doesn't influence their sleep quality that much, but still, be aware of that. You definitely should see what works for you. Then you can use coffee as a booster before your workout to get out more performance while doing your workout, in order to gain more muscle over the long term. Hence, to have a more productive training. Further, try to get to know yourself better and figure out how your energy level looks like throughout the day. Some people are early birds, and some people are night owls. If we know when we have a problem with our focus or feel tired, we can more effectively use coffee exactly at those points in time to increase our productivity. When it comes to language learning, we want to make sure that we are fully awake, alert, and completely focused on our learning experience. If that's the case anyway for you at most times, then you probably don't even need coffee. But if you have it down, like at a specific point in time throughout the day, or after you have already done a learning session, do the following. Do a nice little power nap of not more than 20 minutes. And then drink a coffee immediately after it. This way you will be fit for some more hours again. You can also drink the coffee first and then do a nap, but then it has to be a really short one. Probably about 12 minutes, because coffee takes about 15 minutes to make you awake. So if you do that, then you will wake up and be rested and alert. But you should find the perfect nap length for you. It definitely shouldn't be too long, because otherwise you will feel groggy again. Then probably don't drink coffee daily, because otherwise your body will get accustomed to it and it will take more and more coffee to get the positive effects out of it, or to get you awake and alert again. And then one more, use coffee bars to practice a foreign language, either in a different country or in your own city. If you are Italian, for example, often coffee bars are being run by Italian people, or also by other nationalities. Those bars are often a great place to meet new people, so definitely try it out. By drinking coffee you have already one similarity with the others, and it's a great way to start a conversation. You can find all the sources that I've used in the video description. Please let me know in the comments if you use coffee or caffeine in general to boost your productivity for language learning or also other areas of life. If you found the video useful, please leave me a like and a subscription to the channel, and to not miss anything going forward, click on the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching, and see you the next time.